Before we dive in, please remember that this video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial or career advice. The fitness industry is constantly evolving, and the information presented here reflects the landscape at the time of recording. Always conduct your own thorough research and consider your personal circumstances before investing in any certification program. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, decided he wanted to be a personal trainer, and he was perfect for it. The guy lived in the gym, had a fantastic physique, and could talk to anyone. He was passionate, he was knowledgeable, and he was ready to change lives. So he went online, found a certification that was on sale for a couple $100, crammed for 2 weeks and passed the test. He was officially a certified personal trainer. He printed out his resume, walked into the brand new high-end gym that just opened in his town, and handed it to the manager. The manager took one look at the certification on his resume, smiled politely and said, "Thanks, we'll keep this on file." Mike never got a call back. He spent the next 6 months wondering why, his passion slowly draining away, until he eventually gave up and went back to his old desk job. Mike made the single most common and most devastating mistake a new trainer can make. And it had nothing to do with his passion, his knowledge, or his work ethic. He just chose the wrong key for the lock. That story is not an exception. It's the rule for thousands of aspiring trainers in America every single year. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a massive 19% growth for fitness trainers over the next decade. That's nearly 70,000 new jobs. The opportunity is enormous. But here's the statistic they don't tell you. Industry insiders estimate that up to 80% of newly certified trainers quit and leave the industry entirely within their first 2 years. Why? They hit a wall. They can't get hired where they want to work, they feel unprepared to handle real clients, or they can't build a sustainable business. And the root of that failure, more often than not, can be traced directly back to the piece of paper they chose to get certified with. This is not going to be another video that just lists the top certifications and reads you their marketing slogans. This is a strategic breakdown. This is a career blueprint. The goal here is to arm you with the information I wish I had when I started, information that would have saved me thousands of dollars and years of trial and error. By the end of this presentation, you will understand the critical difference between the major certifying bodies in the United States. We're going to put the Big Four under a microscope. NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine; ACE, the American Council on Exercise; ACSM, the American College of Sports Medicine; and the NSCA, the National Strength and Conditioning Association. We're going to tear them apart and look at them from every angle. What do they actually teach? Who are they best for? What are the hidden costs and the recertification nightmares they don't advertise? And most importantly, which one will actually get you hired and set you on a path to a six-figure income, versus which one will get your resume tossed in the trash? Because the fitness industry has a dirty little secret. Your certification is not just a credential, it's a signal. It tells gym managers, insurance companies, and potential clients what kind of trainer you are before you even say a word. Some certifications signal that you're a serious professional who understands the science of human movement and program design. Others signal that you were looking for the cheapest and fastest option online. So why does this one decision matter so much? Let's break it down into 4 critical pillars. First, and most obviously, is employability. Think of the general manager at a major gym like Equinox, Lifetime, or Crunch Fitness. They get dozens, sometimes hundreds of applications a week. They don't have time to interview everyone, so they use a filter. The very first filter is your certification. Is it nationally recognized? And more specifically, is it accredited by the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, the NCCA? If you take nothing else away from this video, burn the letters NCCA into your brain. The NCCA is the gold standard, the third-party seal of approval that says a certification program has met rigorous standards for fairness, validity, and competence. Virtually every reputable gym in America has a non-negotiable policy. If your certification is not NCCA accredited, your application goes straight into the shredder. No exceptions. All 4 of the certifications we're discussing today are NCCA accredited, which is precisely why they are the Big Four. Choosing a non-accredited cert like the one my friend Mike did is career suicide before you even start. The second pillar is liability and scope of practice. This is the part nobody likes to talk about, but it's the one that can save you from financial ruin. Your certification defines your professional scope. It draws a clear line in the sand between what you are qualified to do and what you are not. Can you give a client a meal plan? Can you diagnose an injury? Can you work with a client who has diabetes or heart disease? The answer to these questions is determined by your certifying body. Operating outside that scope doesn't just make you unprofessional, it makes you uninsured. If a client gets hurt and decides to sue, your liability insurance will look at your certification scope of practice. If you were giving specific nutritional prescriptions when your cert only allows for general advice, your insurance company can deny your claim, leaving you personally and financially responsible. A top-tier certification is your first and most important line of legal and financial defense. The third pillar is the actual usable knowledge you gain. This is where the real differences start to appear. See, anyone can cram anatomical terms and energy pathways to pass a multiple-choice test. But can you take a 55-year-old woman with a history of back pain and zero exercise experience and design a safe, effective program that makes her feel confident and strong? Can you correct an athlete's squat form on the fly to improve their power output and reduce their injury risk? Passing a test is not the same as learning how to train. Some certifications are heavily focused on academic clinical science, the why behind exercise. Others are built around a practical systematic model, the how of training real people in a real gym. One isn't necessarily better than the other, but choosing the one that doesn't fit your learning style or career goals can leave you feeling completely lost when you're standing in front of your very first paying client. Finally, the fourth pillar is your future. Your initial personal training certification is not the finish line. It's the starting block. It's the foundation upon which you will build your entire career. The right foundational cert serves as a launchpad into specializations. Do you want to become a corrective exercise specialist and help people get out of pain? Do you want to become a strength and conditioning coach and work with college sports teams? Do you want to get a nutrition coaching certification and build an online business? The CPT you choose often has a direct pipeline into these advanced credentials. Choosing a certification from an organization that aligns with your long-term vision can create a seamless, cost-effective educational path. Choosing the wrong one can mean having to start all over again from scratch in a few years, wasting precious time and money. Employability, liability, knowledge, and future growth. These are the stakes. This decision will dictate the opportunities you have, the money you can make, and the impact you can create. It's the difference between a thriving long-term career and becoming another statistic. So, with the stakes this high, where do we begin? We start with the 800-pound gorilla in the room, the certification you see everywhere. From the trainer at your local gym to the biggest fitness influencers on Instagram. The one that has, for better or worse, become the default choice for hundreds of thousands of trainers in America. But is its popularity deserved? And more importantly, is it the right choice for you? We are about to put the National Academy of Sports Medicine, NASM, under the microscope. And the first thing you see when you look that closely is a single powerful idea that completely changed the game. It's called the Optimum Performance Training Model, or the OPT model. Now, that might sound like some corporate jargon, but I promise you, understanding this one concept is the key to understanding all of NASM. It's their secret sauce, their blueprint, their entire philosophy boiled down into a 5-phase system. Before the OPT model became widespread, a lot of personal training was, well, let's call it the Wild West. It was based on what worked for bodybuilders, what someone read in a magazine, or just plain old bro science. A new client would walk in, and the trainer might just throw them into a bench press or a heavy squat because that's what they knew. It was chaotic, and honestly, it was a recipe for injury and client drop-off. NASM saw this chaos and decided to build a fortress of science and structure. The OPT model is that fortress. Imagine building a house. You don't start with the fancy roof tiles and the granite countertops, right? You start with a solid, unshakable foundation. That is the entire premise of the OPT model. It's a progressive system designed to take any client, from a 65-year-old who's never touched a weight to a former college athlete, and safely build them up from the ground floor. It all starts with Phase 1, stabilization endurance. This is the foundation. Forget lifting heavy. We're talking about improving balance, core strength, and neuromuscular control. Think single-leg balance exercises, slow and controlled movements on unstable surfaces, and bodyweight exercises done with perfect form. A lot of old-school trainers would scoff at this. Where are the big lifts? This is too easy. But NASM's argument is profound. If you can't control your own body weight and stabilize your joints, what business do you have loading those joints with a heavy barbell? You're just building a mansion on a foundation of sand. This phase is all about correcting muscle imbalances that virtually everyone has from sitting at a desk all day. It's the rehab before the real work begins, and it's what makes NASM's approach so unique and so safe. Once that foundation is poured and set, you move into the strength level, which is broken down into 3 distinct phases. Phase 2 is strength endurance. Here you start pairing a traditional strength exercise like a bench press with a stabilization exercise like a push-up on a stability ball. This is called a superset. The goal is to teach the body to maintain stability while getting stronger. You're building the walls of the house now. Phase 3 is hypertrophy, which is a fancy word for muscle growth. This is what most people think of when they think of working out. It's focused on higher volume, moderate to heavy weights, and designed to increase muscle size. Finally, phase 4 is maximal strength. This is where you're lifting heavy, focusing on increasing the absolute load you can move. This is putting the main beams and the roof on our house. And for those clients who are ready, there's one final level, power. This is phase 5. Power is all about speed and force. Think box jumps, medicine ball slams, and explosive movements. You pair a heavy strength exercise with a light, explosive exercise. This is like installing the high-tech electrical system in the house. It's not for everyone, but for athletes or advanced clients, it's the key to peak performance. So that's the OPT model in a nutshell. A 5-step staircase from fixing imbalances to building explosive power. Systematic, it's logical, and for a brand new trainer it is a godsend. It removes the guesswork. You have a client, you assess them, you figure out where they belong on the staircase, and you have a clear scientific roadmap to get them to their goals. This is, without a doubt, NASM's greatest strength. It gives trainers a repeatable system that gets results safely. And let's talk about that word, science. NASM hammers home that its methods are evidence-based. The textbook is dense, filled with anatomy, physiology, and biomechanics. It's not just a collection of exercises. It's a deep dive into the human movement system. This scientific foundation, combined with the fact that its primary CPT certification is accredited by the NCCA, the gold standard for fitness certifications in the US, gives it immense credibility. When you walk into a big box gym like Equinox or LA Fitness with a NASM certification, the hiring manager knows exactly what you've been taught. They know you understand the OPT model. They know you've been trained to prioritize safety and corrective exercise. That name recognition is powerful, and it's a massive advantage when you're trying to land your first job. They also provide some of the best business resources in the industry, teaching you not just how to train clients, but how to find them, sell your services, and build a career. So, a flawless system, right? The definitive choice for every trainer? Well, not so fast. Because the very thing that makes NASM so powerful, its rigid systematic structure, is also its most common criticism. Some experienced trainers argue that the OPT model can be a bit like a cookie cutter. It's a fantastic system, but is it the only system? What about clients who don't fit neatly into one of the 5 phases? What about an athlete who needs to focus on power but still has some minor stabilization issues? The model can feel a bit restrictive, forcing trainers to color inside the lines when sometimes a client needs a completely different approach. The heavy emphasis on stabilization in phase 1, while crucial, can sometimes bore clients who came in wanting to lift heavy and feel powerful. A great trainer knows how to adapt, but a new trainer might cling to the model so tightly that they lose sight of the individual in front of them. Then there's the cost. NASM is a premium brand, and it comes with a premium price tag. Their programs, especially the all-inclusive guided study and job guarantee packages, can run close to $1,000 or more. For someone just starting out, that is a significant investment. And the costs don't stop there. Like all major certifications, you have to recertify every 2 years. This involves paying a fee and completing a certain number of continuing education units, or CUs. And guess who provides a ton of expensive, high-quality U courses? That's right, NASM. Can feel like you're constantly paying to stay in their ecosystem. Critics call it a brilliant but costly business model. So who is NASM actually for? It is the perfect choice for the person who is brand new to the fitness industry and wants a step-by-step blueprint for success. If you're someone who loves structure, science, and a system that takes the anxiety out of program design, NASM is your home. It's for the trainer who plans to work with the general population, the everyday people who have desk jobs, muscle imbalances, and want to lose weight, get stronger, and move without pain. It's the certification that will give you the best chance of getting hired at a major commercial gym right out of the gate. However, if you're an experienced coach who already has a strong training philosophy, or you plan to work exclusively with high-performance athletes, you might find the OPT model a bit too foundational, a bit too rigid. If you're on a very tight budget, the high cost of entry and upkeep might be a barrier. Ultimately, NASM built its empire on a single powerful promise: We can take anyone and turn them into a competent, safe, and effective personal trainer by giving them a system. A system rooted in corrective exercise. But what if the biggest hurdle for most clients isn't a physical imbalance, but a mental one? What if the key to long-term success isn't a perfect superset, but mastering the psychology of behavior change? This brings us to NASM's biggest rival, a certification that takes a fundamentally different approach. It's an organization that believes in building the person first and the program second. And that organization is the American Council on Exercise, better known as ACE. If NASM gives you the keys to a high-performance engine, ACE teaches you how to connect with the driver. It's a philosophy built on a simple, yet revolutionary idea in the fitness industry. The most effective workout program in the world is useless if the client doesn't do it. And they won't do it if they don't feel understood, respected, and motivated on a deep, personal level. ACE is the certification for the communicator, the empath, the person who understands that the heaviest weight a client lifts is often the one in their own head. At the heart of the ACE methodology is the Integrated Fitness Training Model, or the IFT model. And if you're picturing another rigid, step-by-step pyramid like NASM's OPT model, you need to adjust your thinking. The IFT model is less of a strict hierarchy and more of a fluid, adaptable framework designed to meet the client exactly where they are, right now. It's broken into two parallel paths: cardiorespiratory training and muscular training. You progress a client along both paths simultaneously, but their progress on one doesn't necessarily dictate their progress on the other. Let's start with cardio. The IFT model splits it into 4 phases. Phase 1 is the most important, aerobic-based training. This isn't about hitting target heart rates or crushing high-intensity intervals. It's about one thing: building the habit. It's for the 45-year-old accountant who hasn't worked out in a decade and whose idea of cardio is walking from his car to his desk. The goal here is to get him moving at a comfortable pace, where he can easily hold a conversation. It's about making exercise feel successful and enjoyable, not punishing. You're building a foundation of consistency, not intensity. Once that client is consistently showing up and feeling good, you can guide them into phase 2, aerobic efficiency. Now you can start introducing intervals. You'll push the intensity a little, just to the point where talking becomes a little more difficult, and then bring it back down. You're making their heart and lungs more efficient. This is where fitness starts to feel like a tangible improvement, not just a routine. Phase 3, anaerobic endurance, is for the client who's ready to push. They're no longer a beginner. They might be training for a 10K or just want to see what they're capable of. Here, you're working with high-intensity intervals that push them into a breathless state for short periods. It's challenging, it's performance-oriented, and it's only for clients who have earned the right to be there by building the first 2 phases. Finally, phase 4 is anaerobic power. This is for the athlete, the person trying to improve their sprint speed or their finishing kick in a race. It involves all-out maximum effort intervals that build top-end speed and power. Most general population clients will never need to enter this phase, and that's the beauty of the IFT model. It doesn't assume everyone wants to be a professional athlete. It provides a path for everyone. Running parallel to this is the muscular training component, which also has 4 phases. And this is where ACE's focus on real-world function truly shines. Phase 1 isn't about lifting weights. It's about stability and mobility. Think about it. What's the point of loading a heavy barbell onto a body that has poor posture, a weak core, and tight hips? It's like building a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. So an ACE trainer starts by improving posture, core function, balance, and the mobility of key joints. It's the unsexy foundational work that prevents injury and makes every subsequent exercise more effective. Once that foundation is solid, you move to phase 2, movement training. Here, you're not just training muscles in isolation, you're training the 5 primary patterns of human movement. Bend and lift like squats and deadlifts. Single leg movements like lunges. Pushing movements like push-ups and overhead presses. Pulling movements like rows and pull-ups. And finally, rotational movements like a wood chop. The focus is on perfecting the form of these movements with little to no weight. You're teaching the body how to move efficiently and correctly before you dare to add a significant load. Only after a client masters these movement patterns do they graduate to phase 3, load training. This is what most people think of as working out. It's adding resistance, dumbbells, barbells, machines to get stronger, build muscle, and change body composition. But because of the work done in the first 2 phases, the client is now doing it safely and effectively, with a massively reduced risk of injury. And just like the cardio track, there's a phase 4, performance training. This is where you add things like plyometrics, kettlebell swings, and medicine ball throws to improve power, speed, and agility. Again, this is for the client with specific performance goals, not the everyday person who just wants to feel better and have more energy. This entire IFT model is brilliant, but it's not ACE's secret weapon. Their true superpower, the thing that sets them apart from almost everyone else, is their relentless focus on behavioral psychology. ACE dedicates a massive portion of its curriculum to teaching you how to be a coach, not just a trainer. They teach you a technique called motivational interviewing. Instead of telling a client, you need to stop eating junk food, you learn to ask questions like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to change your eating habits? And why did you pick a 6 instead of a 3? You guide them to find their own motivation. You become a partner in their journey, not a drill sergeant barking orders. You learn about building rapport, using active listening, and showing genuine empathy. You learn to understand that when a client says, I didn't have time to work out, the real reason might be that they felt intimidated at the gym, or they were exhausted from a fight with their spouse, or they're terrified of failing again. An ACE certified trainer knows how to navigate those conversations. They understand that the relationship is the foundation upon which all results are built. They're trained to be the best part of their client's day. So who is ACE for? It's for the aspiring trainer who is a natural people person. It's for the person who wants to work with the 90% of the population that isn't a high-level athlete. It's for someone who wants to help a grandmother be able to pick up her grandkids without back pain, or help an overweight office worker find the confidence to walk into a gym for the first time. If the thought of helping someone overhaul their mindset and build lifelong healthy habits excites you more than the thought of adding 50 pounds to someone's squat, then ACE is probably calling your name. Now, no certification is perfect. The primary criticism leveled against ACE is that it might be perceived as less hardcore or scientifically rigorous on the performance side compared to its competitors. If your sole ambition is to train elite athletes to break records, ACE might feel a little too focused on general wellness and psychology. The IFT model's flexibility can also be a double-edged sword. For a brand new trainer who craves a rigid step-by-step system, the "it depends on the client" nature of ACE's programming can feel a bit daunting at first. But its strengths are undeniable. It carries the gold standard NCCA accreditation, making it respected and accepted everywhere. Its emphasis on behavior change is not just a bonus feature. In today's world, it's an essential skill for long-term client retention and success. The ACE certification exam reflects this philosophy. You can't pass it by just memorizing anatomy. You have to be able to apply the IFT model and behavioral coaching strategies to real-world client scenarios. In the end, ACE produces coaches. It creates professionals who are masters of connection, who know that progress isn't just measured in pounds on the bar, but in inches of confidence gained. They build programs around the person, not the other way around. So we have NASM, the master of corrective exercise and systematic program design, and ACE, the expert in behavioral coaching and building client rapport. One builds the perfect program, the other builds the perfect partnership. But what if your passion lies somewhere else? What if it isn't about correcting imbalances or changing mindsets? What if your passion is simply about raw, unadulterated strength? What if you believe the answer to most of life's problems can be found at the bottom of a heavy squat? For that, we have to turn to the academic powerhouse of the fitness world, the organization that quite literally wrote the book on strength and conditioning. That organization is the National Strength and Conditioning Association, the NASM. If the world of fitness certifications were a university, the NSCA would be its Ivy League, research-focused graduate school. It's not just an organization that hands out certificates. It's a non-profit academic body, publishing peer-reviewed research in its own scientific journals. And when I say they wrote the book, I mean it. Their textbook, Essentials of Strength Training and Conditioning, is a 700-page beast that is the foundational text in countless university exercise science programs across the country. It's the Bible. So, when we talk about the NSCA, we have to understand that we're entering a different kind of territory. This isn't about just learning a few exercises and basic program design. This is about understanding the why behind the what on a cellular level. Now, the NSCA is most famous for its legendary certification, the CSCS, or Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. This is the credential you see held by strength coaches in the NFL, the NBA, and at major Division I universities. It's the undisputed king of performance coaching certifications, but there's a catch. To even sit for the CSCS exam, you need a bachelor's degree. So where does that leave the aspiring personal trainer who doesn't have a 4-year degree, but still craves that same level of scientific rigor and respect? That's where the NCCA-accredited comes in. The Certified Personal Trainer certification from the NCCA is, in many ways, the younger sibling to the mighty CSCS. It's built on the same foundation, draws from the same well of scientific research, and is infused with the same performance-oriented DNA. Getting an NCCA-CPT is like studying a pre-med curriculum to become a family doctor. The depth of knowledge required is staggering, and it's designed for a very specific type of person. So who is that person? The NCCA-CPT is for the student of the game. It's for the individual who isn't satisfied with just knowing that a squat works the quads and glutes. You want to know about the force vectors, the role of agonist and antagonist muscles, the bioenergetic systems being used, and how to periodize a squat program over a 16-week macrocycle to peak for a competition. If you're the kind of person who reads research papers for fun, who argues with friends about the optimal protein intake for hypertrophy, or who lies awake at night wondering about the Krebs cycle, then the NCCA is calling your name. This certification is for the trainer who sees themselves as more than just a rep counter. You see yourself as a coach. You have aspirations that might go beyond the commercial gym floor. Maybe you want to train high school athletes, help a weekend warrior prepare for a triathlon, or work with a client who has specific performance goals, not just aesthetic ones. The NCCA-CPT provides the scientific backbone to do that, and do it with authority. Let's tear open the textbook and see what makes it so different. The curriculum is split into 2 major domains. The first is scientific foundations. This is the deep end of the pool. We're talking exercise physiology, biomechanics, and anatomy at a level that rivals a college course. You're not just memorizing muscles, you're understanding lever systems in the human body. You're not just learning about energy, you're learning about phosphagen, glycolytic, and oxidative pathways and how they fuel different types of activity. This section is the reason for the NCCA's reputation. It's dense, it's difficult, and it weeds people out. The second domain is practical and applied knowledge. This is where the science gets put into action. It covers client consultation and assessment, program planning, and proper exercise technique. But even here, the NCCA's performance-focused DNA shines through. Their approach to assessment is comprehensive, looking at everything from posture to cardiovascular fitness to muscular strength and endurance. But the real crown jewel of the NCCA's curriculum is program design and periodization. Periodization is a concept that many other certifications touch on, but the NCCA lives and breathes it. It's the art and science of long-term planning. It's about structuring a client's training year into distinct phases, or cycles, each with a specific goal, to prevent overtraining and ensure they're at their absolute peak when it matters most. You'll learn about macrocycles, mesocycles, and microcycles. You'll learn the difference between linear and undulating periodization. This is the kind of high-level knowledge that separates a good trainer from a truly elite coach. It's the secret sauce that allows you to deliver consistent, predictable, and remarkable results for your clients over the long haul. Now for the exam. Let's be blunt. The NCCA-CPT exam is hard. It is notoriously one of the most difficult personal training certification exams in the industry. The pass rates are significantly lower than many of its competitors. This isn't a test you can cram for in a weekend. It's a 155-question marathon that requires you to not just regurgitate facts, but to apply complex scientific principles to real-world scenarios. There are even video-based questions where you have to analyze a client's exercise form and identify flaws. The difficulty is not a bug, it's a feature. The NCCA wants to maintain its reputation as the gold standard, and that means ensuring that anyone who holds their credential has truly mastered the material. Passing the NCCA exam is a legitimate badge of honor in the fitness community. So let's talk pros and cons. The biggest pro is the reputation. An NCCA-CPT on your resume carries weight. It tells gym owners, clients, and other professionals that you have a deep, evidence-based understanding of human performance. It signals a seriousness and a commitment to the science of training. It's a fantastic stepping stone if you ever decide to pursue the CSCS or a degree in exercise science. The knowledge you gain is comprehensive and will give you the confidence to train a wide variety of clients with complex goals. And yes, it is NCCA-accredited, which is the non-negotiable benchmark for a top-tier certification. However, the NCCA's greatest strength can also be its greatest weakness, depending on your goals. The academic rigor and heavy emphasis on athletic performance can be overkill for a trainer who primarily wants to work with beginners, seniors, or general population clients focused on weight loss and feeling a little better. While the textbook covers special populations, its heart and soul is in performance enhancement. A brand new trainer might find themselves drowning in scientific detail when what they really need is more practical advice on building rapport or making a sale. And that brings us to the other major critique. The NSCA curriculum is famously light on the business and sales side of personal training. It will teach you everything you need to know about designing a world-class program, but it won't teach you much about how to find the client to use it on. There's very little on marketing yourself, building a brand, or the art of the consultation sale. It assumes you are a scientist first and a businessperson second. For some, that's perfect. For others looking to quickly build a full client roster in a commercial gym, it's a significant gap. In terms of cost, it's right in the middle of the pack. The exam fee, study materials, and the mandatory textbook will likely run you somewhere between $500 and $800, depending on the package you choose. It's an investment, but given the depth of the education, it's a fair one. So, is the NSCA CPT right for you? Comes down to this. What kind of trainer do you want to be? Do you see training as a science? Do you believe that the best results come from a deep understanding of the human body and a meticulously planned, evidence-based program? Are you willing to put in serious study time to earn a credential that is both challenging to get and respected when you have it? If you answered yes, then the NSCA is your home. It's the thinking person certification, the choice for the aspiring performance coach who wants to build their career on an unshakable foundation of science. But what if your passion isn't about chasing a 1-rep max or shaving seconds off a 40-yard dash? What if you're more fascinated by the person who can't touch their toes, whose shoulders hurt when they reach overhead, or whose movement patterns are holding them back from living a pain-free life? What if you want to be less of a performance scientist and more of a human movement specialist? For that, we need to look at a completely different philosophy, a system built from the ground up to identify and fix the common dysfunctions of the modern human body. That system is called the Optimum Performance Training Model, or OPT model, and it's the brainchild of the National Academy of Sports Medicine, better known as NASM. If the NSCA is the gold standard for the 10% of clients who are athletes, NASM is, without a doubt, the undisputed king of the other 90%. They looked at the landscape of modern America, the office chairs, the steering wheels, the couch, and they built an entire empire on one simple, powerful idea. Before you can build, you must first fix. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper on a cracked and uneven foundation. You could use the strongest steel and the best materials, but it's only a matter of time before the whole thing comes crashing down. That's how NASM views the human body. Your average new client doesn't walk in with a perfect foundation. They walk in with years of dysfunction. They have tight hip flexors from sitting, rounded shoulders from typing, a weak core from, well, everything, and ankles that have forgotten how to be stable because they've been locked in stiff shoes their whole life. If you take that person and immediately throw them into a heavy barbell squat or a complex Olympic lift, you're not building strength, you're building an injury. You're building that skyscraper on a crumbling foundation. NASM's solution is a brilliant, 5-phase system that acts as a roadmap, guiding any client from broken to beast mode, safely and effectively. It's so effective, in fact, that it has become the dominant training philosophy inside most major commercial gyms across the United States. If you walk into an Equinox, a Lifetime Fitness, or an LA Fitness, the trainers on the floor are overwhelmingly speaking the language of NASM. So what is this magic system? The OPT model is broken into 3 levels: stabilization, strength, and power. The first level, stabilization, contains only 1 phase, but it is the most important and arguably the most revolutionary part of the entire NASM system. Phase 1 is called stabilization endurance. This is where you live for the first 4 to 6 weeks with almost every new client. The goal here isn't to lift heavy. It's to teach the body how to control itself. The focus is on improving muscular endurance, joint stability, flexibility, and neuromuscular control. Think about it. We're using light weights or even just body weight, but we're performing exercises in an unstable, yet controlled environment. Instead of a bench press, you might do a push-up on a stability ball. Instead of a heavy squat, you'll do a single leg squat on the floor, focusing on perfect balance. The secret sauce here is forcing the small stabilizing muscles around the joints, the ones that have been dormant for years, to wake up and do their job. You are rewiring the brain-to-muscle connection, a concept called proprioception. You are essentially teaching the body to be smart and stable before you ask it to be strong. This phase alone is what prevents countless injuries and sets the stage for all future progress. It's the process of pouring a new solid concrete foundation. Once that foundation is set, you move to the second level, strength. This level has 3 distinct phases. Phase 2 is strength endurance. This is the bridge between stability and traditional strength training. Here, NASM introduces one of its signature techniques, the superset. But it's a very specific kind of superset. You perform a traditional strength exercise like a heavy bench press, immediately followed by a stabilization exercise for the same muscle group, like a push-up on a stability ball. The goal is to work the big prime mover muscles with the first exercise, and then immediately challenge the smaller stabilizing muscles right after. It's a powerful combination that builds strength while maintaining that stable foundation you just built. Next is phase 3, hypertrophy. This is your classic bodybuilding phase. The goal is simple: increase muscle size. The focus is on higher volume, moderate to heavy weights, and minimal rest between sets. This is what many clients think they want on day 1, but the NASM certified trainer knows that you have to earn the right to get here by mastering the first 2 phases. Because you've built that foundation, the client can now safely handle the volume needed to build muscle without their form breaking down and causing an injury. Phase 4 is maximal strength. Here, the goal is to lift the heaviest weight possible. The reps are low, the weight is high, and the rest periods are long. This is for clients who want to be as strong as possible. Again, this is only accessible and safe because of the foundational work done earlier. You can't build a tall peak without a wide, stable base. Finally, you reach the third and final level, power. This level contains phase 5, also called power. This is where strength and speed combine. Think explosive movements, box jumps, medicine ball slams, kettlebell swings. This phase is designed to improve the rate of force production. It's about being not just strong but fast and athletic. And just like in phase 2, NASM uses a signature superset here. You pair a heavy maximal strength exercise like a heavy squat with an explosive power exercise that mimics it like a box jump. This teaches the nervous system to recruit muscle fibers as quickly and efficiently as possible. Do you see the beauty of this? It's a step-by-step progression, a true system. It takes the guesswork out of program design, which is a godsend for a new trainer. You don't have to wonder what to do next. You assess your client, figure out which phase they belong in, and follow the template. It provides a logical, defensible reason for every single exercise you prescribe. When a client asks, "Why are we doing this weird one-legged exercise with a light weight?" you have a powerful answer. We're rebuilding your foundation. We're teaching your body to be stable so that when we do start lifting heavier, you'll be stronger, safer, and get better results. This systematic approach is NASM's greatest strength. It's why it's so dominant in the commercial gym world. It gives a gym manager confidence that their new trainers have a safe and effective system to follow. It's a business in a box for personal training. However, this is also its most common criticism. Some experienced trainers feel the OPT model can be rigid and cookie-cutter. They argue that it can stifle a trainer's creativity, forcing them to color inside the lines of the 5 phases rather than designing a truly individualized program from scratch. They might also poke fun at some of NASM's proprietary jargon, like calling an unstable surface a proprioceptively enriched environment. And they have a point. If you're a trainer who loves the art of creative program design and already has a deep understanding of exercise science, the OPT model might feel a bit like wearing a straitjacket. But for the 95% of new trainers who are just starting out, that straitjacket feels more like a suit of armor. It gives them the confidence and structure to get great results for their clients from day 1. The NASM CPT exam is like the CSCS NCCA-accredited, ensuring it meets the highest standards. It's a challenging test that heavily focuses on the application of the OPT model, overactive and underactive muscles, and corrective exercise strategies. So, NASM provides the ultimate system for fixing the general population. It takes broken bodies and methodically rebuilds them, turning dysfunctional desk jockeys into capable, resilient human beings. It's less about peak athletic performance and more about achieving optimal human function. But what if your client doesn't fit neatly into either of these boxes? What if they aren't a high-level athlete, but they also don't have major movement dysfunctions? What about the massive group of people who are somewhere in the middle? The people who just want to be healthier, lose some weight, and feel better, without all the complex science of corrective exercise or elite sports performance. For that, we need a certification that champions a more holistic, behavior change-focused approach to fitness. Enter the American Council on Exercise, or ACE. If NASM is the brilliant kinesiologist, and the NSCA is the elite strength coach, then ACE is the master health coach, the behavioral psychologist of the fitness world. For decades, ACE has carved out a unique and incredibly valuable space in the industry, built on a single powerful idea. Fitness isn't just about sets and reps, it's about changing human behavior. This is the certification for the trainer who wants to be more than just an instructor, but a true partner in their client's health journey. The entire ACE philosophy is built around what they call the mover method. It's their secret sauce. Forget just telling a client to do 3 sets of 10. The mover method is a framework for client-centered coaching. It starts with the radical idea of asking the client what they want to do, what they enjoy, and what they think will work for them. It's a collaborative process. You're not a drill sergeant barking orders. You're a guide, helping them navigate their own path to a healthier life. This is a profound shift from the traditional trainer knows best model. It's about empowering clients to take ownership of their health, which is the absolute key to long-term success. People don't stick with things they're forced to do. They stick with things they choose to do. ACE teaches you how to facilitate that choice. So, who is the ideal ACE certified trainer? You're someone who is fascinated by the why behind people's actions. You see a client who struggles with consistency, and you don't just see laziness. You see a complex web of habits, beliefs, and environmental triggers. You're empathetic. You're a great listener. You believe that building rapport and trust is just as important as knowing the difference between a squat and a lunge. You want to work with the vast majority of the American population. The desk worker who wants more energy, the new mom trying to reclaim her body, the retiree who wants to stay active and independent, the person who has tried and failed at a dozen diets and workout plans and is on the verge of giving up. These are the people ACE prepares you to save. You're not just building bodies, you're building confidence, you're building habits, and you're changing lives from the inside out. The ACE curriculum reflects this unique philosophy. While you will absolutely learn the foundational sciences, the anatomy, the exercise physiology, the biomechanics, the real emphasis is placed elsewhere. A huge portion of the textbook is dedicated to the psychology of behavior change. You'll learn about goal setting, not just setting a goal, but setting SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You'll dive deep into motivational interviewing, a technique where you ask open-ended questions to help clients discover their own motivation for change. You'll study the stages of change model, understanding that a client who is just thinking about exercising needs a completely different approach than a client who has been working out for 6 months. You learn to identify barriers like time, money, or intimidation, and then collaboratively brainstorm solutions with your client. The program design section, which ACE calls the Integrated Fitness Training Model or IFT model, is also unique. It's a beautifully logical system that breaks down training into 2 parallel tracks: cardiorespiratory training and muscular training. Each track has 4 progressive phases. For cardio, you start in phase 1 by just getting the client moving and enjoying it. You don't throw them on a treadmill for a high-intensity interval session on day 1. You build the habit first, then you improve the fitness. For muscular training, you start with functional movement and core stability before you even think about loading them up with heavy weights. It's a system designed for a real-world, deconditioned client, ensuring they feel successful and safe from the very beginning, which dramatically reduces the chances they'll quit. Now let's talk about the exam. Like the other top-tier certifications, the ACE exam is NCCA-accredited, making it a gold standard credential. It consists of 150 multiple-choice questions, and you're given 3 hours to complete it. The passing score is 500 out of a possible 800. What makes the ACE exam different is the type of questions you'll face. While there will be questions that test your knowledge of anatomy or energy systems, a significant portion of the exam is scenario-based. They'll present you with a client profile, their goals, their limitations, their mindset, and ask you what the best next step is. These questions aren't just about knowing the right answer. They're about applying the mover method and IFT model to make the wisest coaching decision. This makes the exam less about pure memorization and more about critical thinking and understanding the art of coaching. The pass rate typically hovers around 65 to 70%, so it's challenging and requires dedicated study, but it's a fair test of the practical skills you'll need on the gym floor. So what are the big pros of going with ACE? First and foremost is that NCCA accreditation. It's non-negotiable and ACE has it. Second, its reputation is fantastic. Gyms and clients across the country know and respect the ACE certification. But the biggest pro is its unparalleled focus on behavior change. This is not just a footnote in the textbook. It is the core of the entire certification. This skill set is arguably the most important and most underdeveloped skill in the fitness industry. Knowing how to change a person's habits is what separates a good trainer from a great one, and it's what creates clients for life. It's an incredibly practical, real-world approach that sets you up for success with the largest segment of the population. On the flip side, what are the potential cons? For some, AC might be perceived as less intense or scientific than a certification like the NCCA-accredited. If your dream is to be a strength coach for a Division I football team or work exclusively with elite athletes, ACE might not be the most direct route. It's a general personal training certification, not a sports performance specialization. While the IFT model is fantastic for general fitness, it doesn't go as deep into complex periodization models for advanced athletic development. Some critics also feel that the business and sales aspects of personal training could be covered in more depth, though ACE does provide resources for this outside the core curriculum. When it comes to cost, ACE is very competitive and offers several study packages. You can often find their most basic package, which includes the exam voucher, the digital textbook, and some practice tests for around $600 to $700. Their most popular Plus package, which adds a hard copy of the book, and their incredible study companion workbook, usually runs around $800 to $900. Their Advantage package, which includes everything plus dedicated study support and live Q&A sessions, can go up to around $1,300. As always, watch for sales and promotions, which they run frequently. For recertification, ACE requires you to complete 20 hours of continuing education credits, or 2.0 CUs every 2 years. You'll also need to maintain a current CPR and AED certification. The renewal fee is typically around $129. ACE has a massive library of pre-approved continuing education courses, making it incredibly easy to find relevant and interesting ways to meet your requirements and continue your growth as a professional. So, to put a bow on it, the American Council on Exercise is for the aspiring trainer who sees the person before the physique. It's for the individual who wants to be a health coach, a motivator, and a guide. If you believe that a sustainable fitness journey is built on a foundation of trust, empowerment, and positive habits, not just brutal workouts, then ACE is speaking your language. It equips you with the tools to connect with clients on a deeper level, to understand their struggles, and to help them achieve lasting change that goes far beyond the four walls of the gym. It's a certification that teaches you how to train the human, not just the body. And if you're looking to build a career on long-term client relationships and life-changing results, that philosophy might just be the most valuable asset you can have. But what if your passion lies in a different area? What if you're drawn to the world of preventing injuries and helping people move out of pain? For that, we need to look at a certification that has made corrective exercise its calling card. That calling card belongs to the National Academy of Sports Medicine, or as you'll hear it everywhere, NASM. If the certs we've discussed so far are about building the engine of fitness, NASM is about perfecting the chassis and alignment first. Because what good is a Ferrari engine in a car with a bent frame and flat tires? It's not going anywhere fast, and it's definitely going to break down. Imagine this client walks into your gym. Let's call him David. David is 42, works a desk job, and his doctor told him he needs to start exercising. His goal? I just want to feel better and lose 20 pounds. Classic. So you put him on a basic program. Squats, lunges, maybe some overhead presses. But a few weeks in, David's complaining. His lower back hurts after squats. His left knee clicks during lunges. His shoulder pinches when he reaches overhead. He's getting discouraged. He feels broken. You, the trainer, are getting frustrated. You're doing everything by the book, but the book isn't working for David. Now imagine you're a NASM certified trainer. David walks in. You don't just ask about his goals. You run him through an overhead squat assessment. You watch him move. And you don't just see a bad squat. You see a story. You see his feet flatten, a clear sign of overpronation. You see his knees cave inward, a classic valgus collapse. You see his lower back arch excessively, and his arms fall forward like he's carrying invisible grocery bags. To a generic trainer, this is just a bad squat. To a NASM trainer, this is a diagnostic blueprint. You see the overactive muscles like his tight hip flexors from sitting all day, and his tight lats pulling his shoulders forward. And more importantly, you see the underactive muscles, the sleeping giants. His gluteus medius is offline, causing his knees to collapse. His deep core stabilizers are weak, forcing his lower back to take over. His mid-back muscles are stretched and weak from years of hunching over a keyboard. You're not a trainer anymore. You're a detective. You've just uncovered the clues to why David is in pain. And now you have the system to fix it. This is the core of the NASM philosophy. It's built on a foundation of corrective exercise. Before you load, you must correct. Before you build strength, you must build stability. This entire system is codified in their legendary Optimum Performance Training Model, the OPT model. This isn't just a collection of exercises. It's a phased, progressive roadmap that can take a client from a state of chronic pain and dysfunction, like David, all the way to peak athletic performance. It's one of the most systematic and easily replicable training models in the entire industry, which is why it's so incredibly popular. The OPT model is broken down into 3 levels and 5 distinct phases. Level 1 is stabilization. This is the foundation of the entire pyramid. The first phase, stabilization endurance, is where the magic begins for someone like David. You're not loading him up with heavy barbells. Forget it. You're using light weights or even just body weight and focusing on slow, controlled movements on unstable surfaces. Think single leg balance, stability ball push-ups, TRX rows. The goal here isn't to build huge muscles. It's to wake up the nervous system. It's to teach those small, deep stabilizing muscles how to fire again. You're essentially reinstalling the body's operating system, teaching muscles to talk to each other properly. For David, this phase is a revelation. His back pain starts to fade. His knee feels more stable. He's building confidence, not just muscle. Once that foundation is rock solid, you move to level 2, strength. This has 3 phases. First is strength endurance. This is a brilliant hybrid phase where you superset a traditional strength exercise like a bench press with a stabilization exercise like a stability ball push-up. You're building strength while simultaneously challenging the stabilizing muscles. It's the bridge from correction to performance. Next is the phase everyone knows and loves, hypertrophy. This is your classic muscle building phase. Higher volume, moderate weights focused on increasing the size of the muscle fibers. Because David's foundation is now stable, he can finally perform these exercises with good form, targeting the right muscles without pain or compensation. The final phase in the strength level is maximal strength. Here, the volume drops and the intensity skyrockets. We're talking heavy lifting, low reps. This is about teaching the nervous system to recruit as many muscle fibers as humanly possible for a single powerful effort. And for those clients who are ready, you ascend to the peak of the pyramid, level 3, which is power. This is where you combine strength with speed. Think explosive movements like box jumps, medicine ball slams, and kettlebell swings. This phase 5, is called power training. It uses another superset system, pairing a heavy maximal strength lift like a heavy squat, immediately with an explosive plyometric movement like a squat jump. This trains the body to convert that raw strength into lightning-fast, powerful action. You see the genius of it? The OPT model is a journey. You can't just jump to phase 5. The model forces you to respect the process to build the foundation before you try to build the skyscraper. This systematic approach is what makes NASM so valuable, especially for new trainers. Gives you a plan. It takes the guesswork out of program design. You always know what comes next. So, who is the NASM certification really for? It's for the trainer who wants to be a problem solver. It's for the person who wants to work with the general population, the desk workers, the weekend warriors, the grandparents who want to be able to pick up their grandkids without throwing out their back. It's for the trainer who believes that quality of movement is more important than quantity of weight. If you're a detail-oriented person who wants a proven system to follow, a step-by-step guide to take people from broken to bold, NASM is an unbelievable choice. To get certified, you'll typically purchase one of their study packages, which range from a basic exam-only option to an all-inclusive guided study program with mentorship. You'll receive their massive textbook, which is dense but incredibly thorough, and access to an online portal filled with video lectures, practice exams, and learning modules. The exam itself is a 120-question multiple-choice test, administered at a proctored facility. It's challenging. You need to know your anatomy, your kinesiology, and you absolutely must know the OPT model inside and out. They will test you on identifying muscle imbalances from assessment photos and knowing which exercises to prescribe in each phase. Now, is there any criticism of NASM? Sure. Some veteran trainers feel the OPT model can be a bit rigid or dogmatic. They argue that not every client fits perfectly into these neat little phases. And that's a fair point. But for a new trainer, that rigidity is a life raft. It provides the structure and confidence needed to get started and get results safely. It gives you a framework, and as you gain experience, you learn when and how to color outside the lines. Ultimately, a NASM certification tells the world that you are a movement specialist. You understand that the human body is an interconnected chain, and a problem in the foot can cause pain in the shoulder. You know how to assess, how to identify, and most importantly, how to correct the dysfunctions that plague modern society. You're not just counting reps, you're restoring function. You're giving people like David their lives back. This power to help the everyday person move and feel better is a noble and incredibly rewarding path. But what if your ambitions are different? What if you don't just want to help people get out of pain, you want to push the absolute limits of human performance? What if you dream of training collegiate athletes, professional sports teams, and future Olympians? For that, you need a different kind of weapon in your arsenal. You need the undisputed heavyweight champion of strength and conditioning, the National Strength and Conditioning Association, the NSCA. And the certification they offer isn't just a piece of paper. It's a statement. It's called the CSCS, the Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. And in the world of athletic performance, it is the gold standard. It's not just another tool in your toolbox. It's the entire state-of-the-art workshop. The CSCS is not a personal training certification. Let's get that straight right now. While a CPT is designed to help the general population get fit, lose weight, and build muscle, the CSCS is designed for one primary purpose: to optimize athletic performance. This is the certification for professionals who work with athletes and teams to make them stronger, faster, and more resilient to injury. It's the science of making a human being better at their sport. To understand the CSCS, you have to understand the NSCA itself. Founded in 1978, the NSCA is a non-profit research and education organization. They are, first and foremost, a scientific body. They publish some of the most respected, peer-reviewed journals in the field, like the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. This isn't a company built to sell certifications. It's a scientific association that offers a certification as a way to validate a professional's understanding of their research. This academic foundation is what gives the CSCS its weight, its gravity, its undeniable authority in the field. And because of that authority, they have a gatekeeper, a big one. Unlike every other certification we've discussed, the NSCA has a non-negotiable prerequisite that stops many aspiring coaches in their tracks. To even sit for the CSCS exam, you must have, at minimum, a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution, or be a college senior on track to graduate. Let that sink in. This isn't a weekend course. It's not an online module you can click through. The NSCA has drawn a line in the sand, stating that to be a true specialist in this field, you need a foundation in higher education. This single requirement elevates the entire profession and ensures that every CSS credential holder has a proven background in academic discipline. It's a controversial barrier for some, but for the institutions that hire these coaches, universities, professional sports organizations, elite performance centers, it's a mark of quality assurance. Of course, you also need a current CPR and AED certification, but the degree requirement is the real crucible. If you meet that requirement, you then face the exam itself. And the CSCS exam is legendary for its difficulty. The pass rate often hovers around a daunting 55 to 60%. This isn't an exam you can cram for. It is a comprehensive two-section beast designed to test the absolute depth of your knowledge. The first section is Scientific Foundations. This is the why. It's a 90-minute, 80-question deep dive into the core sciences of human movement. We're talking about exercise physiology in excruciating detail, not just what muscles do, but the bioenergetics of the ATP-PC system, glycolysis, and the oxidative system. You'll need to know how the endocrine system responds to different training stimuli, what hormones are released, and what they do. It covers biomechanics, levers, force vectors, and the precise analysis of movement patterns. It delves into sports nutrition, macronutrient timing, hydration strategies for different climates, and the science behind supplementation. It even covers sports psychology, from goal setting and motivation to the mental skills needed for peak performance under pressure. This section alone is more rigorous than the entire curriculum of many other fitness certifications. It ensures you are not just a rep counter, you are a scientist. If you pass that section, you move on to the second part, practical and applied. This is the how. It's a much longer, more intensive section, lasting 2.5 hours with 120 questions, many of which are video-based. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's broken down into 4 key domains. First is exercise technique. You'll be shown videos of athletes performing lifts, from the barbell back squat and the power clean to plyometric box jumps. And you'll have to identify flaws in their form, know the proper coaching cues to fix them, and understand the biomechanical risks of incorrect movement. It's not just about knowing what a good squat looks like. It's about knowing why it's a good squat, down to the joint angles and muscle activation patterns. Second is program design. This is the art and science of creating long-term training plans. You will be given detailed profiles of hypothetical athletes: a 19-year-old female collegiate soccer player in her off-season, a 28-year-old professional baseball pitcher in season, a 300-pound offensive lineman preparing for the NFL Combine. For each, you'll have to design a comprehensive program. This includes everything: selecting the right exercises, determining sets, reps, and load, structuring the training week, and most importantly, applying the principles of periodization, how to manipulate volume and intensity over months and even years to ensure the athlete peaks at the perfect time for competition. Third is organization and administration. This might sound boring, but it's critical. How do you design a weight room for maximum safety and efficiency? What is the proper layout? What are the legal liabilities and standards of care you need to uphold? How do you manage a budget and staff for a collegiate strength and conditioning department? This domain tests your ability to be a professional director, not just a coach on the floor. And fourth is testing and evaluation. How do you accurately measure an athlete's abilities? You need to know the proper protocols for testing everything: maximal strength, power, speed, agility, and endurance. You need to be able to select the right tests for a specific sport, administer them correctly, and then interpret the data to identify an athlete's strengths and weaknesses, which then informs your program design. Passing this exam is a monumental achievement. So who is this for? The CSCS is for the person who wants to work at the highest levels of human performance. It's the essential credential for anyone who wants to be a head strength and conditioning coach at a Division I university. It's the credential you'll find on the resumes of coaches for the NFL, NBA, MLB, and Olympic teams. It's also highly sought after for coaching tactical athletes, military special forces, firefighters, and police SWAT teams. If your dream is to take a gifted athlete and mold them into a champion, the CSCS is your pathway. The pros are immense. It holds unparalleled prestige. Having those 4 letters after your name opens doors that no other certification can. It provides you with a knowledge base so deep and robust that you can confidently handle any performance-related challenge. And yes, it commands a higher salary. The level of responsibility and expertise demanded of a CSCS is reflected in their earning potential, which is often significantly higher than that of a general personal trainer. But the cons are just as significant. The bachelor's degree requirement is an immovable barrier for many talented coaches who don't have a 4-year degree. The difficulty and low pass rate of the exam mean you will invest a significant amount of time and money into studying, with no guarantee of success. And frankly, the knowledge is overkill for the average client. A 55-year-old accountant who wants to lose 30 pounds and have more energy doesn't need a coach who can explain the intricacies of block periodization for an Olympic sprinter. The CSCS is a specialized weapon, and using it for general fitness is like using a surgical scalpel to spread butter. It's the wrong tool for the job. Ultimately, pursuing the CSCS is a declaration. It's a statement that you are dedicating your career to the science of performance. It's for those who see strength and conditioning not as a hobby, but as a serious profession on par with physical therapy or athletic training. It is the Mount Everest of fitness certifications. The climb is brutal, many fail, but the view from the top is unlike anything else. But what if the world of elite athletes isn't your calling? What if your passion lies not in building superhuman speed, but in rebuilding fundamental, pain-free movement? What if you want to help the person who can't squat without knee pain, or the office worker whose back aches every single day? For that, you need a different kind of specialization, one focused on fixing problems, not just chasing performance. You need to become a master of corrective exercise. And this is where the truly great trainers separate themselves from the merely good ones. Because anyone can make a healthy 22-year-old tired. Anyone can count reps on a bicep curl. But can you help the 50-year-old woman who wants to garden without her back seizing up? Can you figure out why your client's shoulder clicks every time he reaches overhead? This is the reality of personal training. You're not just a coach. You're a movement detective. Your job is to find the clues, the tight muscles, the weak links, the faulty patterns, and solve the case of your client's pain and dysfunction. Corrective exercise is the bridge between physical therapy and general fitness. It's the essential skill set that allows you to identify movement compensations and apply targeted strategies to fix them. Think of it like this. You wouldn't tune a race car engine before making sure the wheels are aligned. Piling strength and intensity on top of a dysfunctional movement pattern is a recipe for injury. Corrective exercise is the alignment. It ensures the body's chassis is sound before you start adding horsepower. This isn't just a nice-to-have skill. In today's largely sedentary world, it's a necessity. And the undisputed king of the corrective exercise world is the NASM Corrective Exercise Specialist, or CES. If you have a NASM CPT, the CES is the single most logical and powerful next step you can take. It's built directly on the foundation of their OPT model, but it takes you so much deeper into the why behind movement problems. The entire NASM CES system is built on a simple 4-step process: inhibit, lengthen, activate, and integrate. First, you inhibit. This is about calming down the overactive, tight muscles that are pulling the body out of alignment. The primary tool here is self-myofascial release, which is a fancy term for foam rolling or using a massage ball. The goal isn't to break up scar tissue like some people think. It's to stimulate nerve receptors in the muscle, sending a signal to the brain that says, "Hey, you can relax this muscle now." It's a neurological trick to reduce muscle tension. Second, you lengthen. Once a muscle is inhibited and a little less tense, you can then gently lengthen it through stretching. NASM emphasizes static stretching here, the classic hold for 30 seconds kind of stretch. This helps to improve the muscle's flexibility and restore its normal, optimal range of motion. Third, you activate. This is the crucial step that many people miss. After you've calmed down the overactive muscles, you need to wake up the underactive, weak muscles on the opposite side. For example, if someone has tight hip flexors from sitting all day, their glutes are probably weak and sleepy. So after inhibiting and lengthening the hip flexors, you would do isolated strengthening exercises like glute bridges or clamshells to activate the glutes and get them firing properly again. Finally, you integrate. This is where it all comes together. You take the newly activated muscles and teach them to work together with the rest of the body in a coordinated, compound movement. This might be something like a bodyweight squat, performed with perfect form, reinforcing the correct movement pattern. Inhibit, lengthen, activate, integrate. It's a beautifully logical and effective system for deconstructing a faulty movement and rebuilding it from the ground up. Getting the NASM CS transforms you from a trainer who just leads workouts into a specialist who solves movement puzzles. You'll learn how to perform detailed movement screens like the overhead squat assessment and see things you never noticed before: the feet turning out, the knees caving in, the lower back arching. And you'll know exactly what those compensations mean and have a step-by-step playbook to fix them. This certification opens the door to working with post-rehab clients, seniors, and the massive general population market of people who are in some kind of low-level chronic pain. These clients are incredibly loyal, and they will pay a premium for a trainer who can actually make them feel and move better. But what if you want to go even deeper? What if you're the kind of person who isn't satisfied with the system, and you want to understand the fundamental principles of biomechanics on a level that few trainers ever will? For you, there's the Biomechanics Method Corrective Exercise Specialist, or TBMMCS. While NASM provides a fantastic and proven model, the biomechanics method is less of a rigid system and more of a deep education in the science of human movement. It was created by Justin Price, a renowned expert in biomechanics and corrective exercise, and it's designed for the trainer who wants to be a true critical thinker. This program teaches you to see the body as an interconnected series of levers and pulleys. You'll learn to analyze gait, posture, and fundamental movements not just to spot compensations, but to understand the precise anatomical and biomechanical reasons why they are happening. The biomechanics method focuses heavily on structural assessment. You'll learn how to evaluate a client from head to toe, identifying musculoskeletal imbalances that contribute to their pain or poor performance. The program is famous for its detailed anatomy and physiology content, helping you understand how a problem in the foot can cause pain in the lower back, or how a restriction in the thoracic spine can lead to shoulder impingement. Their process is based on a problem-solving framework: assess, identify, strategize, and implement. It encourages you to be a detective, using your deep knowledge to create highly individualized corrective exercise programs. This certification is for the trainer who loves the why. If you're fascinated by anatomy, if you want to be able to explain to a client exactly which muscle is causing their issue and the chain reaction it's setting off in their body, TBMMCS will give you the tools and confidence to do that. It's less known than the NASM CS, but within the annals of serious, dedicated trainers, it carries an immense amount of respect for its depth and thoroughness. Now, both NASM and the biomechanics method teach you how to assess a client and then what to do about it. But there's another tool, another certification that focuses almost exclusively on the assessment part and does it better than almost anyone else. This is the Functional Movement Screen, or FMS. The FMS is not a corrective exercise system in itself, it's a screening tool. It's a standardized system for evaluating fundamental movement patterns that are key to normal function. It consists of 7 tests like the deep squat, the hurdle step, and the trunk stability push-up that are scored on a simple 0 to 3 scale. A score of 3 is a perfect movement. A 2 is a good movement with some minor compensation. A 1 means the person can't perform the movement properly. And a 0 means there was pain during the movement. The beauty of the FMS is its simplicity and its power as a communication tool. It gives you a baseline score for your client's movement quality. It immediately highlights their biggest limitations and asymmetries. For example, if their right side scores much higher than their left. It acts like a traffic light for your programming. If a client scores a 1 on the deep squat, the FMS tells you they have no business putting a heavy barbell on their back. It's a red light. You need to address the underlying dysfunction first. If they score a 0 meaning they have pain, that's an even bigger red light, and it tells you to refer that client to a medical professional. The FMS certification teaches you how to administer the screen accurately and interpret the results. It provides a decision-making tree to guide your programming. It helps you systematically identify the weakest link in your client's movement chain. Many trainers get FMS certified in addition to something like the NASM CES. They use the FMS as their initial screen to quickly identify what's wrong, and then use the NASM model to figure out how to fix it. It's a phenomenal way to manage risk, demonstrate value to a client by showing them their objective score improving over time, and ensure you are truly, as the saying goes, first, doing no harm. Becoming a specialist in corrective exercise is one of the most powerful career moves you can make. It elevates you above the noise. It allows you to build a business based on delivering real, life-changing results for people in pain. You become the go-to expert, the person other trainers refer to when they have a client they can't figure out. You're no longer just getting people sweaty. You're restoring function, eliminating pain, and giving people their lives back. But once you've fixed the foundation, once you've corrected the dysfunction and built a solid base of movement, what comes next? What about the client who is no longer in pain and now wants to be powerful, explosive, and truly athletic? For that, you need to enter the world of elite performance enhancement. And when you enter that world, you'll find 2 titans waiting for you. 2 philosophies that have shaped the training of elite athletes for decades. On one side, you have the academic gold standard, the certification that is practically a requirement to work in collegiate or professional sports. This is the National Strength and Conditioning Association's Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, or the CSCS. Let's be crystal clear. The CSCS is not just another personal training certification. It's a different beast entirely. To even sit for the exam, you need a bachelor's degree or be a college senior on track to graduate. This prerequisite alone changes the entire game. It tells you that the NSCA sees strength and conditioning not just as a trade, but as an academic science. And the exam reflects that. It's notoriously difficult, split into 2 sections. A scientific foundation section that will test your knowledge of exercise science, anatomy, and biomechanics to a level far beyond any CPT, and a practical/applied section that covers program design, exercise technique, and athletic testing. Getting your CSCS is like earning a master's degree in getting people bigger, faster, and stronger. You will learn the intricate details of periodization models, linear, undulating, block, and exactly when and why to apply them. You'll understand the physiological adaptations to anaerobic training on a cellular level. You'll be able to design a comprehensive year-long training program for a Division I football team, accounting for their in-season, off-season, and pre-season needs. The CSCS is for the coach who wants to be a scientist, the person who reads research papers for fun, the individual whose goal is to be the head strength and conditioning coach for a major university or a professional sports franchise. It is the single most respected certification in the world of athletic performance. If you walk into an interview for a high-level coaching job and they see CSCS after your name, it opens doors that would otherwise be welded shut. It signifies a level of dedication and a depth of knowledge that commands immediate respect. But it's not for everyone. It's highly theoretical, and some critics argue it can be light on the day-to-day, in the trenches application for the average client. And that's where our second titan steps into the ring. The National Academy of Sports Medicine's Performance Enhancement Specialist, or the NASM. If the CSCS is the university professor, the PES is the field-tested special forces operator. Where the CSCS focuses on the deep academic why, the PES is laser-focused on the practical, repeatable how. The PES is built on the foundation of NASM's OPT model, which you remember from our earlier discussions. But now, instead of just correcting dysfunction and building stability, you're using that same model to create explosive, powerful athletes. The PES takes the final two phases of the OPT model, power and maximal power, and expands them into an entire system. You will learn the precise progressions for developing speed, agility, and quickness. You'll master plyometric programming, understanding how to safely and effectively take a client from simple box jumps to complex, multi-directional explosive movements. The ideal candidate for the PES is the trainer who works with high school athletes looking for a college scholarship, the coach who runs sports camps, or the trainer who wants to bring a higher level of athletic training to their general population clients who want to feel like athletes again. It's incredibly practical. The textbook and online materials give you a literal playbook of drills, assessments, and programs that you can implement the very next day. It's less about the cellular biology of muscle hypertrophy and more about how to set up cones for an agility drill that will improve a soccer player's change of direction speed. The CSCS gives you the knowledge to write the textbook. The PES gives you the battle-tested field manual. One isn't inherently better than the other. They serve different purposes for different coaches. The CSCS is the key to the institutional kingdom of high-level sports. The PES is the toolkit for building elite athletes in the private sector, one client at a time. But what if you want something different? What if you want to be on the absolute cutting edge, part of a system so renowned it feels almost like a secret society? For that, you look to a company, not just a certification. EXOS, formerly known as Athletes Performance, EXOS is the name whispered in the locker rooms of the NFL, the NBA, and elite special operations units in the military. They are the go-to for preparing top NFL draft picks for the combine. Getting an EXOS certification is not like buying a textbook and scheduling an exam. It's an immersive experience. You attend multi-day, on-site courses at their state-of-the-art facilities, learning their proprietary system directly from the coaches who train the best athletes in the world. Their methodology is holistic, built on 4 pillars: mindset, nutrition, movement, and recovery. They teach you not just how to coach a lift, but how to integrate every facet of performance into a seamless system. It's incredibly deep, incredibly practical, and incredibly prestigious. It's also expensive, but for the coach who is all in, who wants to be associated with the pinnacle of human performance, an EXOS certification is the ultimate statement. And so here we are at the end of this journey. We've covered the landscape from the foundational CPTs like NASM and ACE that give you your license to train, to the corrective specialists like the CES and FMS that teach you how to fix movement, and now to the performance powerhouses like the CSCS, PS, and EXOS that show you how to build elite athletes. After all of this, you might still be asking, so what's the best one? And the answer is, the question is wrong. It's like asking a master carpenter what the best tool is. Is it the hammer? The saw? The level? The question is absurd. The craftsman knows you need different tools for different jobs. The goal isn't to find the one single best certification. The goal is to become the best coach. These certifications are your tools. They are the science. They give you the systems, the vocabulary, and the fundamental principles. They are the foundation upon which you will build your career. But they are not the career itself. The best trainers in the world, the ones who change lives, the ones who command 5-figure monthly incomes, the ones who clients stay with for decades, they didn't just stop after they passed an exam. They took the science from NASM's OPT model, the principles of periodization from the NSCA, the movement philosophy of FMS, and they blended it with their own experience, their own intuition, and their own empathy. They created their own unique system. This is the art of coaching. The science is knowing that a squat is a fundamental human movement. The art is knowing how to get the terrified 65-year-old grandmother who has never exercised in her life to perform her first bodyweight squat with a smile on her face. The science is understanding energy systems. The art is knowing when your client had a brutal day at work and needs you to scrap the high-intensity workout you planned and just go for a walk and talk. Your certification is your entry ticket, proves you understand the science. But your success will be determined by your mastery of the art. It will be determined by your communication, your compassion, your ability to listen, and your relentless dedication to getting better every single day. So as you choose your path, don't just chase the acronyms you can put after your name. Chase the knowledge. Internalize the principles. Then get on the floor and coach. Coach hundreds of people. Coach thousands of hours. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Find mentors. Read books that have nothing to do with fitness. Study psychology. Study leadership. Study communication. Because the certification gets you the client, but the coach, the artist, is who keeps them. The piece of paper on your wall is just the beginning. The real work is building the masterpiece. A career that doesn't just change bodies but truly, profoundly, and permanently changes lives. Don't just get certified. Become a coach.